it's being one of the favorites. It's always a good feeling, But now it's more competitive. It's like now I don't look at it as going my first national show. Let's have fun. I'm here to win now.
Yeah.
Like I'm here to win, and that's what I plan to do. So.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Think Big Bodybuilding Media. I'm Scott McNally, and today we are heading back on the road to North Americans to speak with super heavyweight Nick Walker. The whole purpose of this program is to introduce to you some of the great athletes that will be competing at the NPC North Americans. That takes place September 2nd through the 5th out in Pittsburgh. If you guys enjoy this content, do me a favor, hit the like button, leave a comment, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, because we have several programs that come out each week. All of our programming is brought to you by TrueNutrition.com. You can use our code ADVICES for some additional savings on high-quality supplements from a company that you can trust. We're also brought to you by GetAzoth.com, one of the best nootropic blends on the market. All right, guys, let's get to Nick Walker. Nick, welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you for having me on, man.
Yeah, thanks for being back, man. We had some good feedback a few months back when you were on It's Just Bodybuilding with Ron and Dusty.
That was a fun one.
I hadn't really known you before that, man, but you really got along with those guys, and I feel like you have a lot of the same mindset as far as training and everything goes as they do.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. How old are you?
25.
25. So you're still a young guy. You're going to be super heavyweights here. Tell me a little bit about your national level contest history.
Okay, so I did my first national show in 2016, which was USA's, and I did that as a light heavyweight, and I placed 6th.
Okay, first time.
Yes, I was shocked because going to your first national show, you're like, oh my god, am I going to do good?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, I took 6th. That's awesome, right?
Yeah.
So at that point, that was when I was like, at probably my most motivated coming out of a national show. So I was like, I did really I belong here. Like I could win one day. So then, 2017, I did North Americans as a heavyweight, and I got 6th there. And then that same year, I did nationals as same as a heavyweight, and I took 6th again.
Okay. And
then in 2018, I didn't compete. And then last year, I took 2nd at USA's as a super there.
That's 2nd, man. So you're right up there. And as I've said on some of the other shows, the installments of this program, if you can hit that top 5 mark, realistically, it could go a different way on any given day. The guys who are in the top 5 could be pro at the next show for all we know. So this could be a big year for you. I've heard some people say that you are a favorite for this show. How does that make you feel going in to this show now? Say opposite of the first show you did national level, where then you were probably just happy to be there and happy to see that you fit in. How do you feel now to juxtapose that?
Oh, it's being one of the favorites. It's always a good feeling, But now it's more competitive. It's like now I don't look at it as going my first national show. Let's have fun. I'm here to win now.
Yeah.
Like I'm here to win, and that's what I plan to do. So
hell yeah, man. That's a good place to be. And for anybody who is maybe newer to watching, the bodybuilding shows that out there, the amateur shows. Realistically, it's usually it's a heavy or a super heavy that's going to be the guy who wins the overall. It's the bigger classes, And that it's going to be a fun show. How do you go about dealing with your competition coming up to the show? Because it's not like you see them in the gym every day, but those guys are all out there posting on Instagram and stuff. Do you keep up with what the other competitors are doing? At least the guys that are going to be there.
I notice them. I see them, but I don't pay no mind. Because I don't want anything mentally getting into my head. So I just stay focused on what I have to do, and that's it.
And be your best.
Exactly.
Right on, man.
And if I can improve, which I know I'm going to already from last year's physique, and be better, not to be arrogant, but there's no reason why I shouldn't win.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't see that as arrogant at all. What are the things that you feel, or what did the judges tell you were the things that possibly held you back last time around?
Obviously, mainly was I've heard from many people and even some judges, but my waist was a little too wide on stage. And so far this year, sending my pictures to Matt 2 or 3 times a week at this point, it's like everything has grown and my waist has gotten smaller now.
Okay.
And I think what helped with that also was due to the fact that I kind of steered away from exercises that I felt had an impact on my waist.
Okay. Like what, for instance?
Like I don't really squat anymore, and I felt like they would play a huge role. I don't rack dead or deadlift as much as I used to. And if I do anything bent over, I don't really do it, the 45-degree angle that people do. I will do it strictly bent over, so There's nothing on my waist at all.
Okay.
And I felt like that's been a huge help on my back, period.
Yeah.
But also help keep my waist tight.
Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense.
And also I have started wearing a waist trainer, which I think has played a little role in there too.
Okay. So you're talking about like the legit Squeam type waist trainer, not just like a sweatband type thing.
No, I'm talking about a real waist trainer. Yeah.
That's got to be uncomfortable. I've never worn one, but I've worked with a lot of people that have. Yeah.
I did it one time and like I was like blacking out every set, and I was like, you know what, this we got to take it off. This isn't happening.
Yeah.
This has got to go.
Hey, you mentioned to me too when we spoke before that this is the leanest you've ever been at this far out of the show. We're recording this at 10 weeks out. I believe the episode will go out at 9 weeks out, possibly 8, depending on it. We'll see, but it'll be coming out pretty soon here. But you're leaner than you've ever been. I have to imagine that getting tight sooner is going to be a benefit to getting that torso tighter as well.
Oh, for sure. And we also started prep pretty early too. Like we started, which we thought we started at like 20 weeks out, but I think it was really like 22 weeks out.
Okay.
Which is I'm okay with that because I think the longer prep has helped keep my waist tighter and continue to get tighter.
Yeah.
So I feel like where we're sitting right now, we're in a perfect spot and we're just going to keep getting better from here.
That's cool. So tell me, what does it take food-wise to fuel a 275-pound bodybuilder?
Oh, I was eating a lot of food. I don't think I was eating as much as Gary Turner was. That's for sure. But I was eating a good amount. I mean, it got to a point where like I was sick of eating.
Yeah.
But see, I don't really count the macros, but I was doing probably, I'd say around 100 carbs per meal.
Okay. Well, like what would say like a post-workout meal look like for you in your off season and then as well now?
Okay, so in my off season post-workout, I would do 250 grams of 96 foreground beef.
Okay.
And I'd have 350 grams of rice, 3 pieces of Dave Killer's bread, and 100 grams of pineapple, I want to say.
Yeah.
And right now, we have a high day and just a regular day. So on my high days right now for my post-workout, it would be pretty much the same thing, except it's just 420 grams of rice and 100 grams of pineapple.
Okay.
And then on a low day like today, it will be just 250 grams of ground beef and 200 grams of rice. Okay.
Yeah, fair enough, man. So you mentioned that you work with Matt Jansen. How long have you worked with him for?
Since August of 2018.
Okay, cool. And how would you describe working with him? What's your relationship like with him?
Oh, we're like best friends now.
Yeah.
It's awesome. He's a great friend, and he's a great coach. We get along really well. We communicate really well, which is cute. Like I said, I believe I said it on Dusty's podcast too. Like communication is huge for me.
Yeah.
And if something's wrong or if I don't like something and I feel like I can't tell you,
yeah,
obviously not a good relationship. So me and him, we don't have that issue. Like if I say, listen, I don't feel like this is working, we make adjustments and move on.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, that's what I've noticed with him is he definitely gets into like almost the psychology of dieting, of people and of
Hmm.
the your individual mindset that he works
Hmm.
with the individual. He doesn't. It's not just like this is what we need to do. Period. It's like he
Yeah,
is. It sounds like I've seen that with a lot with him that he has kind of grown friendships with his clients, and I feel like that makes a difference, man. In the
it
trust
does.
level.
I agree with that. Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. I think I saw some pictures of you out there training with him in his garage not too long ago.
Yeah, that was really fun. That was when, believe it, because we were like, so obviously being in Jersey,
Yeah.
like we're still on lockdown. So gyms aren't open, obviously. So I drive to Delaware every day to train.
Oh, geez.
But
Huh.
before that happened, the gym I was going to in Jersey was letting me train there, like low key.
Yeah.
And then, they made a huge thing and opened up and got locked
Mm.
down by the government and all that crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And I was on a good roll at that point. I was like, I can't lose this role.
Yeah.
I'm doing good. So I called Matt and I was like, listen, do you mind if, I come down for like a week or so and just, train and stay focused? And he's like, yeah, come on down. And, so we trained in his garage for like a week straight. And by the time I got home, Delaware opened up. So I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So years ago, I used to train at a gym in Delaware. It's where Fred Smalls trains, if you know who Fred Smalls
Oh,
is.
absolutely. Yeah. Biggie Smalls.
I go. Yeah, I go to that gym. I used to go to that gym. So once I saw they were opening back up, I was like, that's just perfect timing for me. I can head back home, and I have a cool gym to go to.
Hell yeah.
So it worked. I was able to stay focused, stay motivated, and we had fun. Of course, we had fun in that garage. Garage gyms are always the funnest in my opinion, especially when you got exactly what you need.
Yeah.
You blast the music, you put the garage door up, and you just have some fun.
That's cool, man. That's a lot of fun. So I think to myself, of the people I've worked with, coaches that I've had, or the relationships I've had with clients, there's like a level of mentorship, and that I know that I've learned things training with my coaches that I take with me, because they're important people in my life. And then I learn something, and I after working out with them, I'll go home thinking a little bit different. Training with Matt, is there any little bits of your training that has evolved having worked out with him in person?
Meaning,
Like anything that you maybe thought maybe you do different? Like
no, see, with Matt, he kind of lets you do what you've been doing.
okay,
But if he sees something that could use some adjustment, that's what he does. But
yeah,
for the most part, me and him train exactly the same.
no kidding,
So,
that's cool.
yeah, so pretty much when we train together, it's more along the lines of we're challenging each other.
Oh, okay,
Like even when I was at his house, like he would text me and be like, "Don't let me outwork you today," like just to get just have some fun with each other.
yeah,
And that's what it is. And then when we were in the gym, it was just all about intensity at that point.
that's cool, man. Yeah, I feel like when you have somebody like that, it definitely has allowed me to push myself further than I would have otherwise.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Tell me a little bit about your training. How would you describe your training style?
I same as I was in the off season, pretty just low volume.
Okay.
I work up to like a one hard set.
Yeah.
Sometimes depending, that might be all I do, or I might do a back off set. I might add a rest pause set. I started incorporating, which I'm a huge fan of. I like to do cluster sets now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think cluster sets are pretty fun. They change the workout a little bit, where you still have to go heavy, but you don't have to go as heavy to get the same effect. You know what I mean? So I like doing those, but generally, my training really doesn't change much.
Right
honestly.
on. Now I know for myself, everything you're saying, this is stuff that I'm believing in now, but I wasn't always that way. Like I started out with a lot of volume, and it's taken me years to progress to the mindset that you're talking about. Have you always trained that way, or has this been an evolution?
It's been an evolution. See, when I first started training, obviously I idolized Jay Cutler a lot,
Oh yeah.
and I know he was a big volume guy. So I was like, if he can get like that, I want to get like that too. So
Yeah.
I just did what he did, and it worked. Like I grew from it, but I think what I do now, I've grown quicker
Okay. Okay.
and gotten stronger quicker.
Yeah.
Like I'm a big believer though in sometimes changing the style every once in a while, as far as, doing the low volume. But eventually, as it takes a toll on the body with the joints. So then, do a week or two of a little bit of higher volume.
Yeah.
Just to shock the body a little bit and go back.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. So going from that higher volume to where you are now, how did that look? Was it just like one day you just switched, or how did you get to where you are?
No, actually, it was when I started working with Matt. He says, I want you to try this and see how it works. Now, me being a high volume guy at the time, only doing 1-2 sets per exercise was a little bit of a mind game.
Yeah, like, completely.
You're like, it's like, oh, I'm done my first exercise. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
And like, it happened quick. Like, within a month, I was like just growing. And I was like, okay, I'm a believer now. This works.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
This is good.
That's cool. So you started that back when you guys started training together, or when you started working with him?
Working together, yeah. Because he never really took over my training.
Okay, right.
But he would just give me a lot of advice on what to do different and try certain things, and that's just what I did.
Right on, man. So are you guys going to do any type of a warm-up show, or you're just going straight in?
Oh, we're going straight in.
Straight in, right on, man. That's
straight
cool.
In.
That's cool. I'm excited for you. If this show wasn't to work out, if for some reason, let's say you didn't get your pro card, would you continue on this season, or are you not sure where you stand with that yet?
If I know me as a person, I'd be going to nationals. I mean, why not, right? Especially since now Florida's pretty much open.
Yeah. So you guys are still totally shut down over there in Jersey, huh?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Man. So
they're like opening little things at a time. It's like, come on, man. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
It's been long enough.
So you were training at a gym that was just kind of letting you in the side door there for a while. Then that ended. And basically, once that ended, you went to Matt's to train. And then right after that, Delaware opened up. So sounds like you haven't really been without a gym for any period of time.
No, like when the quarantine first started, and then I guess second week of March, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't train probably for only like 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
And then I was able to, squeeze into some spots here and there. But basically that was when I started prep. So like the beginning of my prep, it was a struggle because mentally, like if it was still in the off season, it probably wouldn't bother me as much. But being in prep, like it's like a switch flip, like, okay, go time.
Yeah. And
waking up every morning not knowing if I'm going to train or where I'm going to train and what time I'm going to train. Mentally, that plays a game in my head.
Yeah.
So, like the beginning of prep, I wasn't really responding the way I should have. But once I got in a groove, my body just took off. So.
Okay, right on, man. So you're from Jersey. Tell me a little bit about what the bodybuilding scene is like there. When things aren't shut down.
Yeah, well, I live in more South Jersey.
Okay.
So bodybuilding here isn't as huge as it is in North Jersey.
Okay.
North Jersey, New York area is like everyone competes. Everyone works out. Everyone does it. Down where I live, it's a lot of people work out, but no one really likes to compete like that.
Okay.
So.
Now, where does that fit in with like the Jersey Shore that we all know about? Like, where's that at in proximity?
I live about an hour from the Jersey Shore.
Okay. Now, is that considered like part of South or North?
I'd say it's more North.
Okay. So you're painting a picture for us. I'm thinking of the stereotypical gym guys that are all walking around ripped. They're all competing in North Jersey. So you stand out a little bit down in South Jersey then. I follow you. Yep. I follow you. I know because I've seen a lot of real hardcore guys come out of Jersey. I've seen a lot of great bodybuilders there.
Oh yeah, they are. They're either in the central part of Jersey or the north part of Jersey.
Okay.
You won't really find big ones in the south part of Jersey.
All right. So is Diamond Gym, is that up in North Jersey?
That's considered north, yeah.
Okay, cool. You ever get a chance to train there?
Yep, I love that gym.
Yeah, I've seen some cool stuff, man, there. I've seen, do you remember Rodney Roller?
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to lift like crazy weights. I watched videos of him and stuff training up there doing like 200-pound dumbbells overhead and stuff like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. What kind of weights do you work with?
The most I've ever shoulder pressed I did 200-pound dumbbells for like 5 reps.
Oh, geez, man.
Yeah, I did that. Actually, there was a week Matt came down here.
Yeah.
And we had a little group of us staying like a little Airbnb, and we took them to all like the cool gyms up in North Jersey.
Yeah.
And I did the 200-pound dumbbell shoulder presses for 5.
Okay.
And then I did 225-pound incline press for I think 5.
Holy shit, man! I'm just trying to wrap my head around that. That's a lot of weight, dude. So I take it you've got some good gyms then if you've got 225-pound dumbbells.
Yeah, up north.
That's crazy, man. That's insane.
Yeah, we got some cool ones. Like Signature Fitness is a really cool gym. Strong and Shapely is a really cool gym. There's a couple powerhouses that are up there, really cool gyms. Huh. So I usually drive all the way out there to train for the most part anyway.
Right on, right on. And then how far is that Delaware drive for you?
45, 50 minutes.
Okay, cool. And they have a pretty decent facility there?
Oh, yeah. It's a hardcore spot.
Yeah, yeah.
They got everything. They got dumbbells up to 200. They got their own leg room.
Nice.
All the hammer strength pieces you would love. It's a cool spot.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm going to talk a little bit about our sponsors, and then we will get right back to the program. So hope you guys are doing good. Hope you're reaching your goals. Hope your gym's open. I'm reaching my goals. At least I'm working toward them, and it feels good. You know, I've talked about it on the shows, so you guys know what's up. I'm trying to gain muscle again, and it feels so fun because it's the first time I've actually tried to gain muscle in a few years now. What am I? 37.6 pounds up now from what I was a year ago. And granted, I was dieting a year ago, but I haven't tried to gain muscle, and I haven't been this big now in years. So it's fun, and I'm definitely feeling strong. It's good. So, you know, a big part of this is the training. In fact, I think that's a big factor. And then the nutrition, and a little gear, not much. We'll say like smidgen of gear, and supplements, which, you know, that's like kind of like the final factor there, right? And in part, I kind of put that in with food too. And of course, I'm using supplements from our sponsor, TrueNutrition.com. You know, high quality, third party tested, meaning you get what they say that you're getting, and they're owned by a guy, one of the most honest people in our industry, and smart dudes too, Dante Trudell. So you're getting good quality supplements, you know, and on top of that, these are things that you would buy anyway, if you get them from TrueNutrition.com and you use our code, which is advices, then you directly support our programming. I'm honestly, you know, at home putting in hours a day, every day on these podcasts, and I love doing it. You know, it's a lot of fun, but obviously I got to get some sort of return, right, to continue doing this. So I appreciate you guys supporting our programming by shopping with our great sponsors, because that allows me to keep doing this. And I appreciate you guys listening too. It's a lot of fun doing these shows and sharing all this stuff with you. Our other sponsor is getazoth.com, and we have a code for them too. Advice is 10. You can go to either that website, or you can go to the Amazon link in our show notes. You know, basically some of the coolest nootropics that are out there on the market right now. What is it? Azoth 2.0. It's a fantastic product. I've enjoyed that for like 2 years now. And now I'm experimenting with Total Focus, which contains new supplement. It's winning all sorts of supplement awards, Zynamite. So Zynamite, as you guys probably heard me talk about, is a dopamine reuptake inhibitor, meaning it keeps more dopamine in your body. And dopamine is a book I'm checking out. It's called The Molecule of More. It's about like, you know, dopamine is what makes you desire. Dopamine is what makes you want to achieve. Dopamine is what makes you want to like keep making money or keep doing whatever you're doing and be the best at it. Keeps you on task, really. Keeps you focused on the chase. And it's interesting to experiment with that. You can strategically, you know, increase your dopamine where you need it to be, when you want it to be, and kind of get like a performance enhancing edge. Like I'm performance enhancing my podcasting and my nutrition work with my clients. And then, you know, I make sure that I'm not taking it at other times, like when I want to sleep, for instance. But yeah, so I'm having a lot of fun with that. If you guys want to check out some cool nootropics, you can do so using our code at our sponsor. That's advices10 at getazoth.com. Thanks for listening to me talk about all this stuff, guys. And thank you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for listening to our shows. That's cool, man. That's cool. So were you always a guy that was strong? Like from the time you were a kid, were you stronger than your friends?
I was always the most muscular one.
Okay. So
I mean, I graduated at high school. At a high school, I was 17. Yeah. You're 16?
You're 16?
I'm not sure. I graduated young.
No kidding.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
And I graduated at 230 pounds.
Holy shit.
I was a big kid.
Well, let me ask you about that. I didn't know this about you. What happened? Why did you graduate at 16?
Well, I might have been 17. My birthday's in August, so I'm trying to figure out.
Okay. Well,
I turned either 16 or 17 after high school. I forget. It's been too long.
So you're like advanced then, or what? What was the situation there?
What?
Like why? How come you could graduate so early?
It was just the way my birthday fell.
Oh, I see. Okay. I thought you were telling me like that you were some sort of hidden genius that I didn't know about, like the.
Oh no, I'm no hidden genius.
The Nick Walker story, hidden genius, bodybuilder in mind.
No, not me. I'm not the hidden genius.
That's what I was getting at. I was like, oh my gosh, he was like accelerated. He graduated high school at 12 years old. Something like that. No. That's cool though, man. That's cool about the whole training situation. I guess I was kind of thinking because I imagine if I ever, one of the things I realize is as I do this program, it kind of is developing. So like the first person I interview, think of a few things to ask. But one of the things I'm realizing now is everybody who's coming together for this show. Yeah, you guys all have your own backstories, and then part of that backstory is the place that you're from, and where you're from is going to be very different than where another guy is from. So It's like your whole but it's cool because we all have our own unique, like here in Detroit, we've got some bodybuilding culture, and it's going to be a completely different culture than what you have. Who are some of the guys that you've seen walking around in Jersey, through your lifetime in bodybuilding that you've really looked up to?
Well, for a long time when I was younger, I actually worked with who lives like 40 minutes from me, Jeff Long.
Oh, no kidding. Right on.
He was he wasn't my first coach, but he was like my first serious coach that I had for 3 years, I want to say.
Okay. Yeah.
And, we did, I won two regional shows with him. He was where I took 6 at USA's with, and 6 at North Americans with.
Okay.
And then that was when his business was starting, and his family was, he just had a baby and whatnot, and I felt like his attention at the time was more toward his business growing.
Sure, yeah.
So that's after North Americans, we split.
Okay.
Which we didn't have any issues. We're good friends now.
Yeah. Okay.
And I actually started work. I worked with Cardone for nationals.
Yeah.
Where I actually at North Americans, I actually weighed like 206 pounds.
Oh wow.
And then at nationals, I weighed 22 pounds.
Okay. Wow.
So, and then after nationals, we parted ways after that, and then I went to Matt.
Oh, right on, man. So you've put on a substantial amount of size then. I mean, if you, what do you, I mean, of course, scale isn't, the end all be all, but if you had to guess, what do you figure you would be on stage at this year?
The best part is I'm not losing crazy amount of weight.
Yeah.
But I'm getting harder and leaner within the process. So what we've predicted originally was I would have been around the 250 mark.
Okay.
Which I very much could still be.
Sure.
But the leaner I'm getting and the harder I'm getting while not losing much weight.
Yeah.
We predicted around 260 now.
Around 260. Okay. Yeah, I mean, regardless, 250, 260, the difference between that and 200, 210, that's huge, man. That's a lot of progress, man. Yeah, and you said you had graduated high school at 230, so you've always been a bigger guy. How tall are you?
5'7.5".
So you're not definitely not a tall guy. You're the same height as me, with literally 50 pounds on you right now. 50 pounds heavier. That's a lot of freaking muscle, man. How do you sleep? Do you sleep like comfortably? Do you snore? Do you need a CPAP? How does that work out for you?
I sleep fine. I mean, I do snore. But
okay.
I sleep fine.
Yeah.
Like, I wake up, I feel good. Like, I don't feel tired. Like, I mean, being in prep, obviously, you wake up, you're tired. But, like, in the off season and whatnot, I'm good.
Okay, so you don't need any kind of like CPAP. You don't feel at this point like you're really like pushing yourself to the point of being, terribly uncomfortable. Are you uncomfortable in the off season? Like, what's the highest you've gotten up to weight wise?
I can barely put socks on something.
How much have you weighed off season wise?
I hit the 300 mark one time.
Okay.
But I stayed between like 290-ish.
Okay.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did have like 1 week where my weight just flew up out of nowhere, and then it kind of just came back down. But I maintained 290 for the most part.
Okay. Wow. And you're okay with that. That's not like see, for me, man, I remember, well, it might not be the case anymore, but when I was younger and I hit 230, I felt like, oh my God, I can't put my seatbelt on. So it says something though, that a guy can handle 290, live with that. You don't need a CPAP at that. It says something about what your body's naturally comfortable carrying,
Yeah. I mean, like I always said, as long as I feel okay and I feel good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm good with what we're doing. You
Yeah.
know, the moment I can't eat, or I'm feeling extra sluggish, or if I go into training and after like one hard set, I'm ready to go home.
Yeah.
We got a problem. We gotta lower the food a little bit.
Yeah. Do you
drop some weight.
Do you guys do cheat meals during the prep here?
During prep, yeah.
Yeah.
This is actually last prep. We didn't do any. We just did high carb days.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I said let's. I remember I came to him one weekend, which was funny because he made a joke. I said let's try a cheat meal. Like let's try like a burger or something, or like your famous Chick-fil-A, and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he's like, "Why, is your girlfriend with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, but that's not why."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, at least not the whole reason.
Right. So, but it's been working. Like we would do like 2 high days in a row where I would gain anywhere from 4 to 5 pounds within those 2 days. And then I would just get harder. Harder. And I continue. So I'm like, as long as it's working, like it's,
Yeah.
But then the weight would drop right off.
Okay.
Which is cool. So.
Yeah. I remember when you talked to Ron and Dusty, you had told us about about your favorite cheat meals, and you were talking about the Five Guys burgers, man. So you sounded like you were getting ready, like who's that guy? I can't think of there's like Barry White. You sounded like you're like getting ready to like make love to the burgers. The sound you had in your voice, man.
Five Guys is fantastic. Yeah. After North Americans, I'll do a video. And I'll post it on YouTube of me doing that at Five Guys.
Oh, I'm sure you're a guy that can eat, man. There's no question in my mind.
You put some greasy food in my face, it's going down but rather quickly.
Yeah, one of the things I always ask people that I work with is, are you someone that tends to prefer to eat less, or someone that prefers to eat more? I'm going to guess you're one of the guys all your life. Have you been a eat more kind of guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love to eat.
Right.
But here's the thing, like I love to eat, but I love to eat clean food.
Yeah, okay.
Like I love my cheat meals, but I don't have them as often as because I don't really feel like I need them, for one.
Yeah.
And I always just felt better eating large consumptions of clean food.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. So I take it too. This is the vision I have. I think of like the typical guy from Jersey has like the mom that's cooking the big Sunday dinners and stuff like that. Were you raised with like big family portions and stuff like that?
Yeah, when I was younger, that's my mom always cooked dinner, and that's what we did, honestly. Okay. And my grandmom, my great grandmom at the time, before she passed away, she was always big on cooking huge meals. And my grandmom, even now, when I would go there, she would always cook me big platters. Like, I'd go there sometimes for breakfast, and I'd get like this big plate of pancakes and eggs and such, and I'd eat it all. I was whatever, keep coming.
Yeah, because I've wondered sometimes the appetite thing. I think obviously there's part of it is going to be genetic. But then I wonder too how much of it is nature versus nurture. I was born like I'm the opposite. I'm a guy who eats little. I could probably go all day without eating if I didn't think about it. But I was raised eating like small conservative portions too, with like everything we did was like very conservative with the food when I was growing up. So I wonder if that predisposes you to be like a better bodybuilder because you're used to just eating bigger portions,
I would think so. Even when I was younger, like we would eat a lot of McDonald's too. Because my mom was always, when I was younger, she always loved to go to the beach in the summer. That was her thing. And she would go, I'd say a good 2 to 3 times a week.
Oh, wow.
And the way she would get me to go, I mean, I was like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I mean, the way she'd get me to go is say, oh, we'll get McDonald's. So on the way down, I'm getting McDonald's.
Hell yeah.
On the way back, I'm getting more McDonald's.
Okay, yeah. So that's like programmed in, and that's why I think we figured out the psychology of why you love Five Guys so much now. Well, that's cool, man. I'm excited for you. I'm excited to see how this goes, and overall, it's gonna be such a fun show. I
agree. I think it's gonna be a big show. I do feel like it's gonna be a big show.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's going to be a very fun show too.
Yeah, I think so, man. I mean, you want to have the best competition there, right? Like, if you're going to win, you don't want to do it at like a crappy show.
No, because then you'll hear the excuses. There wasn't a good lineup.
Yeah.
You're always going to hear something from somebody.
You will regardless, I'm sure.
Of course.
Yeah. Man, well, that's cool. I'm really pumped for you. Is there anything else that we haven't mentioned? Any interesting aspects of your prep that we should touch on here?
No, I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Cool, man.
I think good.
I'm pumped. Do you have any kind of sponsors you want to plug?
Yeah, I'm sponsored. I want to shout out Revive MD for the health supplements. And the new line coming out, which will release July 15th, but I think they're going to start pre-sales today, actually, which is Raw.
Okay.
Created by Matt.
Nice. What's that?
And also, who's the owners of Revive. And Iron Rebel.
I love Iron Rebel. They've got some cool clothes, some good equipment.
Yeah, I love their stuff.
All right. What's Raw?
Supplement line.
Oh, okay. Like more performance-based or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, your EAAs, your proteins, your intra-workout, things like that.
Right on. Well, good for him, man. He's definitely a guy I feel like he's really he's really grown in the past few years as a coach. I feel like he's gotten to be more popular too. He's very well spoken. I think one of his big things, like you mentioned earlier, communication is really important to you. I know it's important to him from having heard his interviews and talked to him myself. I feel like he's a really good spot, man. I feel like you're with a good guy here. There's no question in my mind.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, for another episode of our Road to North Americans, I'm Scott McNally. I am here with super heavyweight Nick Walker. Nick, we can't wait to see you there, man.
Thank you for having me on, man.